How does our Kwanzaa family? It is our sixth day of Kwanzaa. Today is Kuumba. Okay, I love this principle. I love all of the principles. Every last one of them make me excited to talk about it, to be frank with you. Um, to do always as much as we can in the way we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than it was before we inherited it. I promise you, a lot of these principles are so self explanatory, but we're going to dive in on that. Okay, to do always as much as we can. Okay, I must admit that some people get discouraged. Okay, because a lot of our people are not in this mindset. Okay, of an Afrocentric mindset, to be more specific in regards to being one. Okay, and sometimes people get discouraged because they feel like, well, people are not listening. Okay, they don't have a lot of support. Okay, when they're serving the community. Okay, so some people actually tap out, but I believe that we keep on putting in the work. Again, it's not about fame, it's about freedom. Okay, that's what it's about. Again, it's not about fame, it's about freedom. Excuse me just one moment. Okay, there we go. I had to put on the do not disturb. Okay, so the phone won't keep ding 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 ding. So we should do always as much as we can, what's in our power, okay? Putting our time and resources into the building up, okay, of our community, all right? Some people, they get hit over the head, kind of like with the offering plate in church, about tithing and giving the offering, okay, when it comes to giving to the work, okay, but that is not the right spirit, okay? We have to walk in love, okay? People can give their time, okay? They might not necessarily have the resources, but they can help to spread the message, okay? They can share, they can like, they can invite, they can comment on um, what you're doing. So I personally don't believe in beating people up over the head with being a part of the movement, okay? Um, when people are ready, they'll come, okay? It doesn't work when you are speaking condescendingly to people because they're not doing what you feel like they should be doing. Okay. Once upon a time, not long ago, I will continue to say this for those of us who are freedom fighters now, remember, we weren't in the same mindset that we're in now. Okay. So it's best for us to be humble. Thank you, my queen, for tuning in. I greatly appreciate your continued love and support. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So whatsoever we do in word and deed, we need to do it in love. All right. So we need to walk in the spirit of love. I do believe in lovingly challenging one another, though. Okay. To put out some thought provoking questions. Okay. And have some thought provoking dialogues that is going to inspire our fellow brother and sister, elder, just our overall African family to take certain things in consideration. Okay, we have to have these thought provoking dialogues because I am very guilty of this of not thinking about certain things until someone actually mentions it to me. Right? How many of you ever did that? Somebody may have mentioned something and you like, man, I wasn't thinking about that. They gave you what an idea. So that idea provoked the thought and gave you a thought and say, oh man, that's a good idea. I'm gonna try that. you know. And so that's what we have to have. We have to have these thought-provoking dialogues that will get us to start really thinking about things that we're not thinking about. Okay, because the reality is most of us were not raised to be proud to be African. Okay, most of us, you know, we're not educated about who and what we are. Most of us don't know where we come from. Okay, most of us don't even know the inventions that we invented. A lot of us don't even know that. You understand? So, you know, I would say don't assume. And here we go. Remember to do always as much as we can in the way we can. Okay, in order to leave our community more beautiful. Okay, now this is not just talking about, okay, the outward uh community. Okay, it's talking about your actual temple. Okay, it's talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Beautifying our minds, creating in us a clean heart and renewing within us the right spirit. And understand that's just not a, for those who got a problem, you know what I'm saying, with Bible verses, okay, understand that, you know, there were um, fragmentations of African spirituality, okay, woven into the Bible. Okay, so let's be very clear about that as well. All right. All right. So that's something that we believe in. You know, even the E5 I read in a book that I have here in regards to having a clean heart, okay, to be cleansed. All right, beautifying our minds, because the truth of the matter is we live the way we think. So it's people that create the atmosphere in the home and in the village. Okay, just like it's people that create the atmosphere in the government. Okay, the other day I touched on a proverb that says, when the righteous rule, the people rejoice, but when the wicked rule, the people mourn. I believe that we can find that to be true, because when you have racist people in position, they cause hell. Okay. But when you have an upright person in position, you find justice being served. So you can't expect justice when you have an unjust person in position. So I'm saying this because it does matter the type of people that are your neighbor, okay, that look like you as well. Okay, it does matter what mindset they have, because when you have a person that has a chaotic mind, okay, we live the way we think and they're going to cause chaos. Okay, so thus you have drug dealing, thus you have gang banging, thus you have robbing and stealing and murdering. Okay, that's not making our community more beautiful. Okay, that's tearing our community up. Okay, people throwing bottles all over the place and urinating and, you know, graffiti. And I know that's considered to be a part of hip hop. I understand. Okay, but it still don't negate the fact that if you don't get permission to spray paint on that walls, that's called vandalism. You know, you understand? Do you understand? That's it's still illegal. Okay, so even if they're not coming in there to take care of the community, remember it's our responsibility first to take care of our living spaces. It's our responsibility to keep our community clean and not throw trash all over the place. And you understand what I'm saying? So think about this, you know, just like sometime when the riots kicked off, right? We tearing up our own community. You think they're going to rush to come in there and fix it? They're not going to do that because we tore it up. My queen, she said, we normally scold our kids for writing on the walls. Absolutely. That's so true. That is so true. You know, so in order for us to make our lives better, the truth is we have to make our lives better. Okay. We have a lot of immaturity going on. We picking at each other because we don't have on the latest fashion. And, you know, we picking on each other because of the shoes that we're wearing, or, you know, it's just ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. You know, we're all in the same situation. We're all living, most of us, you know, are living in the inner city. Okay. So nobody is better than the next one. You know what I'm saying? Just because you have on the gold chain, or because you have on Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and it don't make you better. You never above your people. I don't care how much money you have, and it shouldn't be about who's the best or who look better or who, you know what I'm saying? We get egotistical with each other, and start looking down on each other, when the truth is we should be helping each other up. Okay. This is the reason why we have to return back to our African spirituality. Listen, you're never going to hear me ever not teach our African spirituality, because you know what I'm here to do too as well, is to debunk the lie that our spirituality is wicked. Okay. Ifa, okay, teaches us to have Iwa Pele, just like you see Iwa Pele movement is gentle character movement. Okay, then you have Iwa Riri, which is good character. If you have been watching me for a long time, you should know I don't use profanity. Okay, I don't get on here and incite riots. Do you understand? I believe in us defending ourselves, but I'm never going to tell you to go out there and hurt an innocent person all because they did it. You understand what I'm saying? Two wrongs don't make a right. Two wrongs don't make a right. Okay. So we believe in being upright. We believe in having, okay, gentle and good character. And gentle character is good character. All right. So by us beautifying our minds and beautifying our hearts, we become good people, and good people create what? A healthy atmosphere for us to socialize in. Okay. But you have us looking at each other like we don't even know each other. And, oh, I don't like that person. Or I don't like him. Or I don't like her. You know what I'm saying? It's because our hearts are not right. Okay. Our hearts are not right. All right. And contrary to popular belief, African spirituality teaches us, okay, to spread love and peace and happiness. Okay. It doesn't teach us to be riotous and reckless. Okay. It doesn't teach us that. It teaches us to love one another, to respect our elders. The children respect their parents. You understand what I'm saying? It's about order in the community, right? Our culture, and I'm Mende, our culture teaches us for the men in the Poro side to be good men. And on the Sandy side, which both are secret societies, is to teach the women to be good women, to be virtuous women. And the men also to have virtue, because that word is not restricted to a female. Yes, it's about having moral excellency. Moral excellency. I take it that whoever it is that's in the Facebook group, the EY Pele Movement group, if you would please be so kind to click on the link, so we'll be able to identify who you are. I want to be able to address you appropriately, please. But peace unto you as well. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. For whoever it is that's in the group, thank you so much. Okay, thank you also those who are on Instagram that's tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're talking about Kuumba to do always as much as we can in the way we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited. So more beautiful and beneficial. So by us bringing jobs into the community. Okay. Again, to touch on, because yesterday was Ujama, which is cooperative economics, right? We can make our community more beneficial for those of us, like for instance, myself, my wife, and I. Okay, we're real estate investors. All right, we actually own properties in the inner city. All right, so we provide homes. Okay, these families that are on welfare, that can get their assistants, okay, they can move into these homes, and their family can have a decent place to live. And we're not slumlords. We ensure that our people have a good home to live in. We make sure we stay on top of the maintenance. They're paying us money, And we owe them that service to make sure that their living conditions is optimal, premium. You understand? So we can make it more beneficial because those of us who have the right heart. Now let me be clear. Just because somebody looks like you doesn't mean that they have our best interests at heart. Now we know this by those who sold our people out. Okay? We know this by those who turned their back on a fellow African to be accepted by the colonizer. So we already know that just because they look like us doesn't mean that they have our best interest at heart. Let the truth be told, we already know that because some of us get robbed by our own. Some of our own steal from us. Some of our own try to take our lives, right? So we already know that's not the case. That just because we look alike doesn't mean we got each other's best interests at heart. You got family members that violate other family members because they're perverted, their hearts are not right. Do you understand? Remember, we talking about not just beautifying our community in a physical sense, but beautifying it in a spiritual sense, because then we'll take responsibility and we'll start protecting our fellow African. And with that family mindset, we'll pick up arms as men, okay, and the women, just like in the Black Panther Party, you have men and women, okay, that picked up arms, okay. Ya Asantewaa, Queen Nanny, they were queen warriors. They fought. Do you understand? You know what I'm saying? You got Angela Davis, Asetta Shakur, okay, Coretta Scott King, okay, Betty Shabazz. How can we make our community more beautiful is putting the queens back on the throne and making sure that they get the respect that's due to them. Yeah, yeah. You see, because see, this is what's so beautiful about our culture is that we teach honor, courage, and commitment. Just like when I was in the Marine Corps, those 3 Marine Corps values was honor, courage, and commitment. And this is what we teach as sound-minded African people. We need to be restored, as we talked about on the other day with Nia, okay, which is we're being restored to our traditional greatness. Hmm? Being restored to our traditional greatness. And this is how we can make our communities more beautiful than it was before we inherited it, right? We can push out all of the toxic things that causes us to trash our communities, okay? That causes us to fight one another and cause us to have these ill feelings towards one another. Do you understand? We have to get our hearts and we have to get our minds right. All right. And then once we get that right, once we beautify that, then we can find ourselves beautifying our community and making it more beneficial than it was when we inherited, because that's when we take responsibility. And what's happening is, okay, beloved, that some of us are not taking responsibility. Brother Mike, I thank you so much for tuning in, big brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for tuning in, my brother. I appreciate you. Okay. Once we do that, then we can beautify it. Okay. Once we got the mindset that we are one another's responsibility, can we be honest? I've literally heard people say, I don't know that N word. You know what I'm saying? I've literally seen grown folk pick at younger people. That's crazy because they're not dressed well. Oh, look at that. Look at that bum. Oh, you know, his family must be broke. Their family must be broken. I mean, literally, I'm not exaggerating. I've experienced it. I've experienced it. That's wrong. If you're so well off, why don't you bless your brother and your sister to make sure that they have? Huh? We listen. We don't need to wait till the season called Christmas to be giving. We don't have to wait till Thanksgiving to be giving. See, one thing about the Nguzo Saba, the seven principles, okay, it's not the seven principles of Kwanzaa. It's just, I call it life principles, the seven life principles. This is what I call it. I don't believe in restrict, because when you put up Kwanzaa, now you're restricting it to just a festivity, when really these principles are a way of life. It's an African way of life. Do you understand? So this is the reason why you won't hear me really say of Kwanzaa, right? So once we take on one another as our responsibility, just like Ujima says, collective work and responsibility to build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sister problems our problems and to solve them together. Do you see how these things tie in? And it goes to Umoja. You can't get around that. To strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, and nation. I really don't like that word race. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it at all. Okay, because they made that up as a separation between class. Okay, to classify. You understand? You know what I mean? You know, so I like to stick with the strive for and maintain unity in the family and community. All right, that's what I like to deal with. All right, and then that's where Kuumba comes in at. It talks about creativity, and Kuji Chagalia says that one part of it is create for ourselves, create for ourselves. Okay, so once we take on these principles, then you will see how it is a life force, okay, within the community. It's like the blood, okay? The blood is like the life source. If you lose too much blood, you end up what? Transitioning. Okay, so that's what happens without the blood, if you will, without our spirituality, which is the life force that gives life, because the root word in spirituality is spirit. It's the life force. Okay, words are life. Words can create life, or words can bring about death. Do you understand? You know what I'm saying? So life and death truly is in the power of the tongue. So it's in the power of the teaching, because words shape the mind. This is the reason why some people think that they're ugly. You know why? Because they've been called that. So words are powerful. Some people say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Well, that depends on how mentally strong you are. But for others, okay, those words have caused them to have low self-esteem. Those words has caused them to doubt themselves. Okay, those words has caused us, the words, being called nigger. You understand? Being called stupid, being called dumb, being told, oh, we can't do it because we just some dumb niggas. And unfortunately, okay, that has programmed us to think that we're not intelligent. So we can make our community more beautiful and more beneficial by us teaching our history, because some of us lack confidence because we don't know our accomplishments. You're going to hear me say that repetitively because I know that to be true. Because a lot of us will see how intelligent we really are once we recognize the things that we invented. Like George Washington Carver and Benjamin Banneker and him and Imhotep. Okay, and also if you watch that movie by Tariq Nasheed called Hidden Figures, I encourage you to look at it, talking about the female inventors. Yeah, see, our women are not second-class citizens. Our women are very intelligent. Betty Shabazz was a very intelligent woman. Coretta Scott King was a very intelligent woman. Okay, Angela Davis is a scholar. She was in college, contrary to popular belief. They weren't a bunch of thugs, Black Panther Party, you understand? In fact, they started it when they were in college. Let's talk about it. Huey P. Newton had a doctorate. Let's talk about it. My wife, she giving herself some praise. Amani John Boy is a very intelligent, is very intelligent. Yeah, that's true. That you are. That's one reason why I married you. Fact. All right. You want to hear it? Now you heard it. Nah, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But family, this is what we can do. We can come together and we can start embracing our culture, start embracing ourselves. Okay, start accepting that we are a beautiful people. Okay, that we matter. You understand? And it's okay. We have the right, the human right, to be ourselves. Okay, we have the human right to be ourselves. You understand? And that's how we can make our community more better is by encouraging us, by speaking words of life, telling one another how intelligent we are, how beautiful we are for the females, you know what I'm saying? How handsome we are for the men, you know what I'm saying? And just encouraging one another and just giving each other a word, a kind word. You understand? Someone's got a problem with that. Oh, you sweating him. Oh, you jocking him. You know what I'm saying? We got to get that immaturity broken off of us, man. There's nothing wrong with giving your brother a word of encouragement. Hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? That was powerful message that you taught. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, man, that was a very bright idea that you had. Hey, bro, you were sharp, man. Hey, bro, you looking clean. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong with that. We got to return back to love. Okay, we got to return back to spreading joy, to spreading peace. You understand? Amongst one another. And when we do this, we can make our community more beautiful and beneficial than it was when we inherited. And also talking about putting jobs back in the community, I had stopped a little bit and I went another way, but I want to end it with that is that, we have to raise our children, okay, to get their degrees and to become owners. Okay. This is how we can make our community more beneficial. Okay. And we could beautify it by those of us who are passionate about the legality measures, okay, ensuring that justice will be served for our people. I'm never going to tell you not to run for office. I'm never going to tell you not to run. You will never hear me tell you don't run for office. Because as I mentioned earlier, when the wicked rule, the people mourn. But when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. So we need people who have the right heart, who have our best interests at heart and political power, because those who are in political power influence legislation. Legislation, which is the laws, influences the people. It affects us. You don't believe it? Check the Jim Crow laws. Huh? Check the Jim Crow laws. Why do you think that everything that was put into law was put there to defend us? So it could be written. So it is written, so it shall be done. Okay? So nothing didn't change for our people until legislation was put into force. Emancipation Proclamation, Civil Rights Act, okay, 1964, EEO Act, okay, 14th, 15th, 13th Amendment. You understand? Okay? So it does matter. Okay, the governor, for those who do not know, writes the state constitution. Do you understand? The governor writes the state constitution. So we need governors. We need people in Senate. Okay? We need mayors. We need commissioners. We need sheriffs. You understand? Because they write policy. We need judges. We need DEAs. All of the above that I aforementioned, let me co-sign it with those who have our best interests at heart. Because we already experienced sellouts like Tim Scott, okay, Candace Owens, all right. Yeah, I'm calling out names. Yeah, I'm calling out names. You know what I'm saying? Because we got some African folk who really think that they're European because they speak proper English and they have degrees and they have a whole lot of money. They refuse to accept the reflection that they see in the mirror. And they think because they talk like them, dress like them, act like them, that they're them. Not understanding historically that they just simply used us to do their wicked bidding and rewarded us for selling out our people like our people that sold us into slavery in Africa. Because there ain't nowhere in the world those European people knew that continent like that. There is no way. They didn't live in that continent. They weren't raised in that continent. They ain't know the terrain like that. It was us that led them to us. But see, we don't want to talk about that. Yeah, yeah. You have some sellout, tap dancing African folk that just want to be in the fold of the European. Huh? Because they have a colonized mind. And that's that slave mind. So we have to get detoxed from that slave mind. Because how many times do we have to see that just because they're African doesn't mean when they get in political power that they're going to speak for us? When are we going to figure that out? I don't believe in voting for somebody just because they look like us. That don't make sense. All these sellouts running around here, all these butt kissing people in political power and in business, these uppity Negroes, okay? The ones who scared. And you know what? People like that, guess what happens? With uppity Negroes, scared Negroes, you know what happened? They keep raising the next generation with a colonized mind. And this is the reason why a lot of our people go get their degrees and never come back. Huh? And when they hear people like me and my other brothers and sisters talk and elders talk, they shy away from us because they want to be embraced by their God that they worship, that European that they worship. They still got that slave mind. And if we don't break that slave mind, we're going to keep raising our children with European names. We're going to keep running away from who and what we are, okay? And we're never going to have any self-dignity. And we're going to continue, okay, to be at the bottom of the mill barrel until we start creating for ourselves. That's the bottom line. We got to create for ourselves. These are not just, cliches, beloved. These principles are not just to be brought out, you know what I'm saying, like your Sunday clothes, you just wear them on Sunday and that's it. No, 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 no. These principles should be lived by every day, 365 days a year. It should be your lifestyle. Some people put on dashikis when Black Panther came out, you know what I'm saying? And hung her back up and totally forgot what they are. The next day, they went to work. Nah, nah. Being African is a way of life. That's what we are, period. I'm not ashamed. I never have been ashamed. I put that on everything I love. Never been ashamed because I was raised during the generation, I'm 47, where we had the X Clan, we had the Jungle Brothers, we had Arrested Development, we had KRS-One, we had Chuck D, we had Queen Latifah. So I'm very fortunate. I feel very blessed to have grown up during the era of hip hop where we said we was black and we was proud. And that was during the time when the movie Malcolm X came out too. And Boys in the Hood and New Jack City. And Menace to Society, which was teaching us, sending out a message contrary to popular belief. It was not glorifying crime. It was teaching us what we were doing to ourselves. Do you understand? So until we reconnect with our morals, immorality has been destroying us long enough. Our women being called whores, our women being called female dogs. Come on now. Tongues out, booty shaking, halfway naked, our men pants hagging, calling our women all these derogatory terms. Okay, being taught don't get married, being taught that women ain't nothing but female dogs, whores, and tricks. Come on, family. Come on. And we're buying, we're listening, we're buying it, we're listening to it. Okay, we're destroying ourselves. We're self-destructing. I remember KRS One of them, they came out with a song called Self-Destruction. They said self-destruction, you're headed for self-destruction. You understand? And we have been left to destroy ourselves. Okay, we sell out for money. These radio broadcasters, family, listen to me, man. Please, please, please hear me. I'm getting ready to end here. Please hear me well. A lot of these people are phony. A lot of these social media personalities and a lot of these radio, I don't care. You can tag, I don't care. Don't matter to me. I'm not concerned. I'm not here for fame. I'm here for freedom. I'm not concerned about those clowns because that's all they do is put on a circus. Because just like on the Breakfast Club, they'll bring the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on there. Okay, they'll bring the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on there, the Breakfast Club. Okay, but then right after that, they'll bring on a gang-banging hip-hop artist. They're phony. They're phony. They're phony. I'm going to say it again. They're phony. They're just going for ratings. That's all they're doing. And if they're so genuine, then why won't they take their reputations and go start their own radio station? They got a large enough following for them to start their own radio stations. You understand? So why we keep falling for the okie doke? Huh? These same gangster rappers, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, we need to do something about this, man. Oh, we need to do, and these same Negroes will get, soon as a concert come up, they'll get an invitation to come on a concert and they'll start rapping their gangster songs again. Ice Cube. Oh, we need to do something for the people. Oh, we need to do something for the people. Oh, yeah, it's about the people. Well, if it's so much about the people, then why is it that they still rapping these gangster songs that cause all this hell that we living in the first place? Huh? The furtherance of gang banging. I already know it existed before gangster rap came out. Check the history of the Bloods and the Crips. Of course, it predates gangster rap. Anybody know that history know that, but you're not gonna fool me and tell me. First of all, I grew up during the time, I'm 47, where it didn't even exist. Gangster rap didn't even exist. So you're not gonna tell me that it didn't influence us. Because when Run DMC said wear Adidas, my Adidas, we start rocking Adidas. When Cameron started wearing pink, now with pink went viral. Okay. I think it was Nelly started talking about the Air Force Ones, and then the sales for Air Force Ones blew up out of the water. So we got to just be honest about it, man. Okay? So in order for us to make our community more beautiful than it was before we inherited it and beneficial, then we inherited, hey, we got to return back to our moral lifestyle, and we got to help our other brothers and sisters to wake up, to become conscious of the trap, okay? Because they monetize on our misfortune, okay? They come in here with these big record deals, knowing our people hungry and starving, okay? And they make a fortune off of our misfortune. And we got to stop being puppets. We got to stop loving money so much. And we got to start loving ourselves more than we love fame and more than we love fortune. And we got to start loving freedom more than we love fame and more than we love fortune. All right? Peace, love, power to all the people. Thank you so much for tuning in. Okay? Facebook fam, tuning out. Love y'all. Talk to y'all tomorrow. We're going to go over our last principle tomorrow, which is Imani, to believe with all our heart in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. That's what we're going to go over tomorrow, beloved. It's our last principle, the 7 principles. Okay? Imani, which is faith. All right, signing out. Facebook, peace and love.